Greetings folks, Pasta's here with a new hot video. Due to the post 120 changes, I feel like I'm gonna run out of comedy materials at this rate, since I need to update 10 plus builds. But it's alright, worse things happened, like watching Dark Side Filippo play Resident Evil. Ay ay ay. Well, at least Questline did apologize after sending him a premium edition copy. But this is not a drama channel yet. So let's talk about the build. This build is meant to be sword based, but realistically you can use any weapon as long as your stats are in order. Killing stuff won't be that hard. It's fully tested, since I used this one in my first beta playthrough of the combat changes, and it destroyed everything in veteran without a single gold coin invested. So in short, it's quite solid. Excellent stagger, amazing self-healing, and many gear options depending if you want to invest in spirituality or play fully physical. In this video I will go through all the gear location, how to level up this build, skill tree, Sarras perks and attributes throughout the game. So strap in and let's begin. Alright, let's look at our weapon. As I said earlier, you can use what you want, but here is my suggestion. First of all, Duelist Blade. There are 3 copies you can get in this game without resorting to gambling items. The first 2 are in Act 2 and the last one is in Act 3. A pair of them wielded together will give you a whopping 30% critical chance. So in short, they're stronger than most other dual wield when your level is low. And without them, your crit is gonna be much lower. In alternative, Frostblade and Inferno Blade, which a lot of people like, both are from Act 2, and are recommended if you're investing in a spirituality based setup. Damage is good, but your crit is gonna be lower when you're low level. Main advantage we're going with this setup is that you can access to full hybrid gear without wasting points in spirituality. In alternative, Spear of Ancient Hero, 1000 Stabs and Twin Tide Spear are all amazing weapons. Especially Spear of Ancient Hero is an amazing leveling weapon and can dish out a lot of stacks of bleed, especially in combination with 1000 Stabs, which frankly does the same. If you also add a blood ring, and maybe you can even add other bleed gear, you will find yourself with a full damage over time setup in no time. The helmet from the Hall of Sunset dropped by Sanguinary in Act 2 is also very good for this reason. I did the entirety of Act 1 and a decent chunk of Act 2 with these double spears. They don't require a lot of points, so you can still use them on the side while you're using your other weapons. The only downside of this setup is that when you find the few enemies that are immune to bleed, the damage is really gonna fall off. Twin Tide Spear instead is an endgame item from Sarras and will require you to do a whole quest to hunt down the red floatings, which can be annoying. For helmet, our main helmet, and it's really actually the powerhouse behind our physical setup, is the Crystal Walker helmet. This little thing, combined with a perk, will guarantee 4% damage for every single points in endurance that you have. It's really hard to put another helmet in comparison to this one for a physical setup. Before we get to use this little thing in Act 3, however, I used the mask from Self when I sat with Vidar and I killed her. In Act 2 you can use Gawain or Lancelot if physical. If you're going for Frost Inferno Blade, you can use Percival when you kill her in Act 2. If you are a high level and you want to go hybrid, then my suggestion is gonna be Queen Bee Protector, which is frankly amazing for hybrids and will also give you a little bit of crit. In alternative, you can also use the Druid Bane helmet from Act 2, but this will disable mana, which can be very good depending on what you're planning to do. For chest, we have quite a few options. If physical, while you're low level, you can use Lancelot, which is a general armor that we use on any physical build, to be honest. If you go hybrid, you have access to the amazing Doublet of the Last Jest from finishing Act 2, which is really incredible. Otherwise, Undertow Bloom Vest is really a good option if your perception is higher regardless of your setup. If instead you want to go for more endurance or you want to stack HP, you can use Titan Armor from Act 2 or Blackwater Cuirass from Sarras. For gloves, if you want to go hybrid, you need to use X-Grip. You get these from finishing Act 2. If you don't use X-Grip, you cannot be hybrid without these gloves, let's say. If fully physical, the main option I suggest are either dual knight gloves from Abigor or Blackwater gauntlets if you're stacking HP, and even Champion of Tuatan can be used, but that one requires to kill the Stalker, so your build needs to work long before here. Martyr gloves from Sarras can also be used if your crit is decent. For pants, the best pants for physical are Crystal Walker in my opinion, they also can be used if you go hybrid, but they do come with a nasty downside of losing your dodges. So, in alternative, you can use Walker's Warborn from Act 3 for crit pants. And the strength requirement from that item is really not a big deal on a warrior build. For hybrid we have a bigger selection, you can go Spellwarden pants if you want to go alongside with Druid Bane. In that case you have no mana and Spellwarden will give you a lot of spell power. But you will need to empty your mana occasionally. That can be annoying. In alternative, Percival can also be used. For boots, there is only one option that I will suggest, and that one is Crystal Walker, because losing 33% crit is devastating on any build. Then you can go with Spellwarden boots or Frozen Seer boots if you're going hybrid. Orned Warden boots are also an option if you're going with spirituality points. For back item we don't have a lot of options sadly. My main choice is Winged Back Cavalier, yes, even though it got nerfed, we need that. In alternative you can use Abigor Cape while you level up, and that is what I did. For Amulet, the Amulet doesn't matter that much build-wise. Any Amulet choice will add something to the build on top of that. If hybrid, you can go with the Pendant of Endless Study or even Archdruid if your level is low. Ogre Novice Hunter is an amazing option for any setup. It's from Act 2. Fire Amulet and Ice Amulet, one from Act 3 and the other from Sarras, both can be used if you want to add that status effect to your build. However, if your crit is low, you will have to use Calm Finger or the Crafted Amulet from the Blacksmith questline in Act 2. You can also use HP amulets like Blood and Room or the Crafted one from the Blacksmith questline in Act 3. To conclude, for rings, Swordman's Amulet will fill one of your slots, is from Act 2, really amazing. For the other slots, you can use a Bleed Ring if you need. If you need crit, you can use the Perilous Orbs, which are good while you level up. If you need HP at higher level, you can use Arthur's Seals and Old Steel Ring, both from Act 1. Okay, second time I record this because I'm a boomer. I need to accept that I am an old hunk. Let's quickly talk about pure physical. I will have a separate, shorter hybrid section after I talk about the skill tree. We start with 2 and 2. These will be your points out of the tutorial straight away, so you can use Spear of Ancient Hero immediately. Afterwards, 6 and 6. So you can use a lot of the armors, because most of the armors in this game do have endurance requirements, especially for warrior. So you cannot skip on those. So you can use Knight set, you can use Dual Knight set if you can kill Abigor early, otherwise that will be the end of Act 1 when you're stronger. You can also use Crafted set in this manner. Don't forget to take the extra perception point in the crypt. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look in the description. There's gonna be a link where you can get all the bonus points in the game. And there are a lot. 10 points in endurance, 10 points in strength. Then we're gonna go 9 points in dexterity, and well, you will reach 4 perception. Then we go 15 endurance. Then we're gonna go for 15 points strength, so we can use the Lancelot set. Then we're gonna go for 20 points of endurance. By now you probably have the Crystal Walker helmet already. The rest points are gonna be a dump in perception. Putting points in perception is not a damage loss, because we get a lot of critical damage, and it will allow us to free critical chance item. For example, I didn't mention in this build, but you can replace Winged Back Cavalier with Ashen Veil, Cloak, and these are the points for you. Now let's go in the perk section. Okay, let's look at the skill tree. If you are starting, as I suggest, with the Spear of Ancient Hero, Exploitation of Affliction, Godly Physique, Weapon of Great Theft, Agile Fighter, Ambidextrous. A small note, if you're planning to use 2 swords, 2 lances, 2 whatever of the same type, you go symmetrical. If not, you go adaptive. Of course, for this build, we're gonna go symmetrical. We go in Practicality, Born in Armor 1 point, Inner Strength, Unending Assault. We max Born in Armor, Armored Skin, the best offense. We go back in Strength, Powerful Blows, Unstoppable Momentum. As soon as you unlock Red Death in Act 2, get Plague Warden. This one will save your life, will make you feel like a god. It's the best mitigation in the game, really. 1 point in Extra Lucky, Critical Cascade, max extra lucky, 1 point in respite and cruelty, 2 points in critical aegis, bloodthirst. You can take bloodthirst earlier if your crit is okay, it depends on what weapon you're using. Then you finish up taking up go for the eyes. And if you have extra points and you're higher level than me, because I kinda rushed this build out of the gate, easily take Strikes of Luck, Invigorating Dance, increase the vitality. If you want the practicality point for crafting, you can. Choice is up to you. Now let's look at the Sarras tree. Okay, for Sarras, you can play as pure physical, as a warrior or a rogue. I will focus on warrior. Now, for warrior, strength in number, menace of the wary, which is really good, the heaviest of attacks, desire for speed, useful overload. Those are the ones that I will suggest. Now, let's talk about hybrid since I have the Sarras stuff open. If you're going hybrid, you will play as a mystic. Mana Spring, recovery focus. Arcane Smite is extremely important as long as you have enough mana. In most cases, you should have enough mana. Then you want to go Relic Hunter, which is also freaking amazing. Put random trash on your armor. Reap the benefit. That one is gonna be a lot of mana and a lot of spell power. Don't forget, with Arcane Smite, we have 50% conversion from X-Grip and 50% from Arcane Smite. That is a lot of damage. And then you go Battle Mage. Now, the only difference attribute-wise between an hybrid and a full physical is that you're not stacking as much endurance. Instead, you're gonna put points in spirituality up to a certain points. You need 5 points to use Frostblade and Inferno Blade if you're using those. And then you need 12 points for X-Grip. I would say not more than 20 points in spirituality. Instead, what you want to do is pump perception with the remaining points. However, the choice is up to you. You will most likely destroy anything in your path anyway, especially with your critical chance in a good spot. If you feel your damage is low, that's because crit is bad. Hybrid perks. You don't want a lot of points, however, I need to explain. Arcane Teaching, that one is free damage, take it. If you're playing with Druid Bane or low mana setup, you want Eldritch's Desperation. This one is gonna be a lot of damage on top. With the Battle Mage perk from Sarras, you want to get Arcane Conduit. Don't take this one before you get the Mystic perk from Sarras, of course. Of course, if you need extra mana, take extra mana. Then you can convert a little bit in HP. Okay, for this build, you don't need to play the tutorial. All the optional items from the tutorial will be replaced pretty fast anyway. If you want to choose a life path, then I would suggest I was going to join the army and then infantry. That one is a very minor choice anyway. This section will contain some spoilers toward the end of the Act 1 section and the Act 2, where I will show some of the bosses and I will explain the mechanics. So if you do not like spoilers, well, then just skip this section or close the video. I don't know what to tell you. Gonna start out by taking the Ancient Hero's Spear immediately. Then we're gonna go and take the Molten Lightning Gloves. If you want to use these gloves, you need to put 1 point more in dexterity than I said in Act 1. They are a little good early, but I don't think they're that amazing. But I did use them for a good chunk of the game. Then we're gonna get the Fisherman Ring. Don't forget to do all the Druid Shrines, because those will provide permanent bonuses. If you don't know where they are, there is a video linked in the description that will show the location of all shrines in the game. Then we're gonna go and take the Blood Ring from that small park tour above the stone ruins or whatever. On this build, you want to keep yourself on light weight so you can dodge more easily. Don't just wear all full pieces of heavy armor, because you will be sitting duck during hard fights or against multiple opponents. Completing all the shrines will award you with a permanent bonus, so you should do it. Like you can see it here, that is a permanent plus 10 health. Now, the Vidar, the Children of Morrigan questline will award you with a lot of gear, especially good. I did use a lot of it during leveling. Of course, you can also craft your stuff, so you're not forced to do this. But if you wanted the 1000 stab spear, you will need to side with Vidar and progress in his quest, like I'm showing you here. Overall, none of these enemies are really hard. Just be careful when you defend Vidar, because if you're low level, they can all focus you at the same time and wreck you.
You made a big mistake.
A good hit, but not enough. good hit, but not enough. A good hit, but not enough. Pain is the price of power.
Once you lock the All Mother Temple shrines, you want to buy yourself one bleed relic. That one we're gonna use in one of our spears, and then the 3 attribute points here. Okay, the Galahad fight is really not that hard if you don't get knocked back. It can be really nasty in veteran difficulty if you go unprepared. Just go there with food, and you want to be hyper aggressive, because if you stray too far from him, he will start to cast magic, and that is a no bueno situation for you. Before going Act 2, use the right entrance. The other one will land you farther away from the city and with more hostile mobs. But if you want to have a good time, you can go the other way, of course. Once you start Act 2, you want to do all the Druid Shrines, of course. And more importantly, the Red Death questline, you should not skip that one. It starts in the hospital here, and eventually it will land you against a boss. That is kinda nasty in veteran. We're talking about one shot on most attacks, and one of the pattern that he uses, where he swings low, is kinda hard to see, and sometimes he does weird stuff. But overall, it's not such an impossible fight. Damage over time is really useful on this fight as well. Next, of course, we have our Percival. Percival is also easy to fight. She swings a lot and does all those jumps and weird stuff as well. I tend to fight her next to the pillar, where this will reduce her mobility greatly and you can still hit her. Overall, it's not the kind of enemy that you want to run away from too much, because, well, you're melee anyway. And the pillar will provide great cover for when she dashes at you. Just be careful with her smash comes in, because that one has a huge range. She tends to do that pretty frequently. Like this, boom! The Queen is not that hard to fight on a mini build, mainly because you want to avoid her 3 attacks. She casts a cone that is pretty easy to dodge. She also has the red explosion, that one hurts a lot. And also, well, of course, her sword hits are kinda hard to hit, but if you have Plague Warden on, it should not be such a dramatic situation. There is also the ice attack, that one is kinda scary. And that is the leveling section for you. In Act 3, your build will be fully up and running, you will have excellent set feel and stagger, and even killing the Stalker in Act 3 can be easily done as well, just because of the strength of our defensive and offensive layers.
Up on me. I'll strike you down. Back to your hovel, coward. I'll get you back tenfold.
Did you hear something? Your road is here. Your road ends here. Who goes there? I'll make you pay for that. I'll make you pay for that. You're in for a world of hurt. No, you'll regret this. We'll make it
You're in for a world of hurt. I'll make you pay for that.
Thank the wind. Oh, when we the but Leon, thank me.
And that's it. If you got this far, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like or maybe even subscribing for more gaming content of very questionable accuracy and quality, because that's the way we like it. If you have any question or doubts, let me know in the comments. Please, no weird questions or comments like, yes, Pasta, I really want to know you. Well, can I have your Skype number? What do you mean Skype, you damn punk? The thing doesn't exist anymore. Well, it is what it is. Have fun playing Tainted Grail, and I will see you in the next video.